we've got a little Ninja 650 and an add-on. It's got a ducky on it. Look at that. Quack, quack. This is wearing safety gear. Right, so it's in for full service, DNA air filter. We love them. Translogic Quick Shifter, and then fully CU mapping. Reckon about 60s this should be in. So hopefully, should be a pretty good job. Let's do it. A little bit of an annoying one is because of the grill on this, there's no way we can get a probe in there, our normal copper pipe probe. So we're not going to be able to get a before AFR value, which is a bit annoying. There is other ways of doing it. We normally drill a little hole in the exhaust and then it's called a stealth probe. We basically just take it off there instead. But I don't want to do that either because it's got an oxygen sensor already on, which we're going to turn off. So rather than messing around, drilling holes, causing some grief, we're literally going to use that hole. We're going to use that hole. We're going to turn that into a hole because right now it's a sensor, but that sensor is going to be obsolete in a minute. So then we can pull that out, we can pop our take off from there. So it's, apart from not having the fuel in before, which isn't ideal, but because of the situation that we're in, it's much easier for us to then just take that out in a minute and do that, and we'll be able to see the power gain anyway. That's not too bad. The other option is I pull the sensor now and I connect it up now, but the problem with me doing that is it's automatically going to make the bike fall into a limp, not a limp mode, but it'll default mode, so it won't look for the closed loop system because obviously the oxygen sensor is now not there. So again, it's not a valid test as a before and after, so it's better off for us to just leave that alone. We won't do anything to the exhaust, we'll just leave it completely as it is. We won't have an emissions before run, but we'll still have power. So my first goal was here, because there's a bit of room, but it doesn't quite fit, it sticks out a little bit too much, so that sucks. And then the other option was onto the main relay block. But then, I mean, realistically, you probably never need to get access to it again, but just in case he ever does, there's not very obvious. So, yeah, under the seat. Now, I'm gonna nice and tucked against the side there. And then the wiring's gonna feed under the OE harness all the way through to the front, which should be pretty neat. And hopefully, it's tidy enough. Now I've got it all buttoned up. Did have to relocate the unit, unfortunately. Basically, the wire to run down to, we had to relocate it, so it's now here, which I actually kind of like a little bit better because it's a bit more tucked away. You can still get access to it if you need to. You can still get access to it if you need to, but it's now completely hidden. So the wire is going to run down here. Now I'm completely tight. I haven't neatened all this up just yet. The earth is now off there, which is just behind it. Pull the wire to the side so you can see it. So this is the wire here, and it runs behind that, and so it's on the main earth strap. This will then run along here. This original cable tie I'll cut off, and I'll reuse the same mounting position and cable tie it there. Same for that one, for the ones that run into the front. And then this earth wire runs down, and then down to this side, and then you've got the connection for the quick shifter here, and the earth position here. You've got to make sure that you get the orientation of these right. So the blue and green is a push, and then the red and yellow is actually a pull. So you need to make sure the orientation of the quick shifter is the right, which means basically when you're changing gear, if you push in, you're essentially compressing this, so that's a push. If when you're changing gear, which like for example on this, it's going to be a pull. So as you go up, you're trying to pull this apart because you're pulling on the lever, they're pulling on the actual, you're pulling on this tie rod. Then it needs to be a pull, so then you just change that position around. So you can see this is all nice and neat as well. So the wire runs down where the original wiring is. Make sure you always leave a little loop. So it's got a nice little arc so that it can move. It's a little bit free play in that bush there, but which is a bit annoying. But it's OE, so it is how it is anyway. And then that runs around, goes through the original rubber boot, and then again it's going to follow the wire. The only annoying thing is I wanted to completely follow the wire all the way around, but the wiring wasn't long enough, which you don't know until you actually start laying it all out. So extra 5 minutes of repositioning it, and now it goes up here. It's actually there now, but you can't see it. It's hidden along the spar. You can just see it poking out there, and then that runs underneath the actual spar on that side, and then to there. This will all get, the original cable tie will be on there. This will all get put back into that reusable strap, and then where all the original cable ties are reusable because I'm sad like that. And then it's just gonna look super, super neat. I don't know what that wire is for. I think he's got a, oh yeah, it's for his quad lock. Might neaten it. I'll neaten it there. Won't bother going forwards. And then we're done. So pop a little bit of Velcro on it. Make sure it doesn't get in front of where you've got to get to the adjuster screws. And then you just Velcro that on. And clean the surface where you're gonna stick it as well, just to make sure that it adheres to it properly. And it's not a bad thing to make sure that you've got cable ties around it so that if the Velcro ever does get in, it's not going to be flapping around too much. Cool! So we've done a full set of runs, and we're not a million miles away. There's just a couple of little areas that needed tweaking. So we've just quickly gone over and fine-tuned those. As you can see, the blue is the last set of runs, so we're just a little bit rich here, and then it's okay, and it goes a little bit lean there. So we've just ironed them out, just tweaked them. So we're gonna try that again now. It's finished. It's done. No big dramas. It was pretty straightforward. Sounds good. What do you think? All in all, pretty happy. The quick shifter, the sensitivity on it is good for me. But as I say, they are adjustable, so you can tweak them a little bit. It was washed, and now, days later, it's now raining. Yay, good times. But it's all done. Happy. DNA's in. It's had a full service. No real pickups on the service. It was pretty all right. And then it's had the quick shifter and then full mapping. So it just means that the bike's going to be super smooth to ride, really nice, really responsive. But the big takeaway really is that bottom end. It's just going to be really smooth there. And then it feels like a more modern bike because it's obviously got a quick shifter, which if you don't have a quick shifter, you're a loser. So it just makes it a lot more modern having the quick shifter on there and a lot more fun to ride. So yeah, it's got to have that. So that's cool, that's sorted. What a little bike. I like it. I don't know about it in the grey though. On to the next. If you like any of our content and you want to see some more, please hit the subscribe, hit the like button, and we'll always try and get back to any comments. So if you drop us a comment as well, we'll try and get back to you. Thank you.